你们中国人说互补性 there's this 互补性 between our two economies in the next few years of China's development. I really want to see a big healthy business relationship between Britain and China because it's important for jobs, it's important for growth in both countries, in the UK and China, but it's also important for our long-term relationship. And here in the GBA you have perhaps China's most dynamic and internationally connected region. So this will be a region of China where the consumption of services provided by British firms inside China and also helping Chinese companies to internationalize and go global.
Sir Sebastian, thanks for taking our interview today. You have previously served as the UK ambassador to China, and currently you are also the chairman of China Affairs at Reuters. So how have this experience shaped your vision in promoting bilateral trade and investment between the UK and China?
Well, actually, the most important thing is that I have spent quite a lot of time in China. And I have grown to know this country reasonably well, and I really like this country. So for me, I really want to see a big, healthy business relationship between Britain and China because it's important for jobs, it's important for growth in both countries, in the UK and China. But it's also important for our long-term relationship. The more business we do together, the more we have common interests together, and the more friendly we will be in the future. And for me personally, because obviously I love my own country, but I'm very fond of China as well. And for me personally, that's important.
Compare with the time when you served as the UK ambassador to China. So did you notice any, what is the biggest change in China that you like to mention?
When I was here from 2010 to 2015, already a lot of the infrastructure had been built. So already the city, Beijing where I lived, Shenzhen where I visited sometimes, Shanghai, where I often had to go. These cities are already very modern when I was here. So what's changed? You see many more electric vehicles on the road, and this tells us that the electrification of China is really moving fast. And China is going to be, I think, the world's first electro state, and that is really exciting. So that's one thing. I would also point to the fact that people use digital services in their everyday life far more than they did 15 years ago. From booking a taxi to buying things online to having things delivered to ordering food, transport. All of this now is extremely easy as long as you have one of these. And in that respect, and this is not visible, right? You don't see it, but you only understand it if you've spent some time here. And in that respect, I think China has moved ahead of the West, actually. Maybe the United States has the most advanced chips, but the most advanced applications of that technology for public use are now here in China.
This year, the UK is the guest of honor of China International Consumer Product Expo and China International Fair for Investment and Trade. What accomplishment has the UK delegation achieved through these platforms?
I think it was an honor. an honour for the UK to be country of honour at those events, and also an opportunity. And we brought, I think the UK brought 200 companies to CIFIT in Xiamen, which is, I think, a record actually for any country of honour, for the number of companies they bring to an event. And all of those companies will have been actively looking for opportunities, looking for Chinese partners. So I hope very much that they lead to a flow of new business between our countries.
In terms of China's West market, what kinds of opportunity does it present for UK leading industries?
Well, let me talk for a moment about what the Chinese government is trying to achieve. We've just had the fourth plenum of the Central Committee, and it made a number of important decisions about the next 5-year plan. A decision to increase consumption as a share of Chinese, as a proportion of the Chinese economy. A decision to keep opening up services inside China. A decision to continue decarbonizing China to achieve that goal of carbon neutrality by 2060. And also a decision to encourage Chinese companies to internationalize and to go global. And if you look at all of those key policy directions, they all fit with the strengths of British business. We have financial and professional services companies which have the best networks, in the world to help Chinese companies internationalize and go global. Not just to go to the UK, but also to invest in other countries as well. And furthermore, many of our top financial and professional services companies, I'm talking about banks, law firms, consultancies, accountancy firms, they have their headquarters in this part of the world in Hong Kong, so they can help Chinese enterprises go global through Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is obviously a great springboard for them to do that. So this makes me quite optimistic. And of course, as the development of the services market inside China is a big opportunity for British companies. We have some of the world's best creative and cultural enterprises. We have tremendous healthcare providers, tremendous life sciences companies, and they can all come and participate in the development of China's services market inside China. So, there's great complementarity. 你们中国人说互补性. There's this 互补性 between our two economies in the next few years of China's developments. It makes me feel optimistic.
In this background, so how do you view the cooperation potential between China and UK, particularly in emerging fields such as biomedicine, also AI and clean energies?
Well, we do have a great education system in the UK. We have some marvelous universities with fantastic research capabilities. And we also have some very, very innovative companies. And in China, you have, as I said before, in the world of the digital economy, China is leading the world in applying these new technologies and commercializing new technologies. So there's an opportunity for innovative British institutions, whether they're universities or companies, to come to China and look for Chinese partners who can help them find ways to commercialize their intellectual property, commercialize their inventions. So I do see potential there. And in fact, my Chinese friends may not be aware that in the field of AI, the UK is actually has some world-leading capabilities. companies, so-called unicorn companies, companies that achieve a valuation of more than $1 billion. We have, I think, a total of more than 170 that have started in the UK over the last few years. So there's a very, very vibrant ecosystem of innovation, technology innovation in the UK, and many British companies will be interested in finding Chinese partners.
Let's focus on the Greater Bay Area. The GBA is one of the most open and dynamic economic region in China. So where do you see the promising fields for collaboration in this region, and how can British companies seize the development opportunities in the GBA?
Well, I think we talked earlier about the China's policy goals of opening up of services, high-level opening up, and going out, Chinese companies going out. And here in the GBA, you have perhaps China's most dynamic and internationally connected region. So this will be, a region of China where those factors, the consumption of services provided by British firms inside China, and also helping Chinese companies to internationalize and go global. This will be a region where British companies will really, expect to make progress and expect to be able to do that. So I feel confident about about the prospects for UK business in the Greater Bay Area. And of course, Hong Kong is part of the Greater Bay Area, which is the huge advantage that the GBA has. So it's very natural, it's very easy to use Hong Kong's capabilities to increase those international connections for firms here.
We are in Shenzhen today, and Shenzhen is going to host the next APEC Economic Leaders meeting next year. What advantages do you think Shenzhen possesses when it comes to hosting this kind of international leaders meeting?
It's a great opportunity to advertise to the world how far Shenzhen has come and how far it's developed. And foreign leaders need to see this. They need to see it with their own eyes, and then they will go back to their countries and they will encourage their governments to do more with Shenzhen. So, I wish Shenzhen good luck. I congratulate Shenzhen on this honor of being the host. As I say, it'll be hard work, but it will be worth it, because it's like a shop window to the world when you have a big summit like that.